Let's look at another example. Let's factor 6ab minus 2ay minus 3bx plus xy. Again, I do not have a factor common to all four terms. However, I can group them and create a common factor to each pair. I'm going to group the 6ab and the negative 2ay together. And I'm going to group the negative 3bx and the xy together. Here I have a common factor of 2a. Here I have a common factor of negative x. I'm going to divide 2a out of the first one to get 2a times 3b minus y. 2a into 6ab is 3b. 2a into a negative 2ay is negative y. Now I'm going to divide out the negative x from the second pair. A negative x into a negative 3bx is 3b, because a negative divided by negative is positive. Then a negative x into a positive xy is a negative y, because a positive divided by negative is negative. Now we have the common pairwise factor of 3b minus y. We have the common binomial factor 3b minus y. Removing that common binomial factor, I have 3b minus y times the 2a minus the x. So I factored out my common factor, 3b minus y. I'm left with the 2a minus x. Now it's time for you to do some more exercises. The first one, 4a times the quantity x minus 2 plus 5b times the quantity x minus 2. The second one, 16a squared times the quantity 3y minus 1 subtract 12ab times the quantity 3y minus 1. The third one, 2ax plus 4a minus x minus 2. On the third one, you will need to break them into pairs, take out the common factor for each pair, and then see if you have a common binomial factor. Copy down the three problems and then stop the tape. Once you have worked the three problems, restart the tape to check your answers. The answer to the first one is x minus 2, because that's the common factor, times 4a plus 5b. The answer to the second one, 3y minus 1 times 4a minus 3b. You needed to take out the common factor of 3y minus 1, and then you would have 3y minus 1 times 16a squared minus 12ab. Then you take out the common factor 4a from that second factor. The third one, I did not give you the answer because I want to go through and work it for you, since that's a little tougher. We have 2ax plus 4a minus x minus 2. I'm going to rewrite it as 2ax plus 4a plus the opposite of x minus 2. Here we have a common factor of 2a. Factoring out the 2a, I have 2a times x plus 2. 2a into 2ax is x. 2a into 4a is 2. Plus now, I'm going to factor out the negative 1. Now I'm using a negative because it leads with a negative, and 1 because 1 is the only thing that goes into both x and 2. Now, a negative x divided by negative 1 is a positive x. A negative 2 divided by negative 1 is positive 2. So I have a common factor of x plus 2. So now I can remove the common factor of x plus 2, and I get, or I have left, 2a minus 1. So my answer is x plus 2 times 2a minus 1. If you disagree with any of these answers, be sure to check with someone. Before I end today's lesson, I want to show you one thing that might make it easier for you. This factor, 12a squared times x squared minus x minus 1, subtract 12a times x squared minus x minus 1. Now obviously, both of them have the common factor of x squared minus x minus 1. But sometimes all that just looks confusing. What you might want to do is to make a substitution. Like, let u, or any other letter, equal to x squared minus x minus 1. So if I did that, I would have 6a squared u minus 12au. So I'm just replacing u by the x squared minus x minus 1. Now 6a squared u minus 12au does not look very hard. We have a common factor of 6au. So factoring out the 6au, I get 6au times a minus 2. 6au into 6a squared u is a. 6au into 12au is 2. Now I can't write my answer as 6au times a minus 2. I have to replace u by what it's equal to. So now we have to substitute back. So I have 6a times, in the place of u, I write the x squared minus x minus 1 times a minus 2. This might make it a little bit easier for you to factor when you have the binomial or trinomial common factors. This completes tape 108, factoring by removing the common factor.